So here we're just about to start streaming the ReBBL playoffs. WesC versus Stouticus. Necromantic team versus the Undead. Versus Wood Elves. So this is looking to be a promising matchup. WesC from the Big O has he's managed to make it through to the second round of the playoffs. This is the round of 16. But can he get past the Wood Elves here? The Wood Elves, who I believe from memory went through and knocked out. I think it was the Sage. This was quite a big upset, I believe, that they've already pulled off so far. Going up against WesC though, their Blodge might not be quite as effective, as of course there's the two frenzy players, as well as one of those frenzy wolves has tackle. Looks like no tree for the Wood Elves, so they're relatively light on team value. They're not sort of suffering from any sort of bloat by the looks. As far as I can see, there doesn't seem to have been a lot of inducements, with both teams being relatively similar team values. So they're just doing the setup now. I'll see if I can message WesC and find if there were any inducements. So I'm just waiting on him to send me back a reply, as he's currently in the middle of setup. So I don't expect him to reply back straight away. But yeah, so it looks like the WesC's Wolves will be on the offensive drive first. Imagine that they will attempt to stall it out. I can't imagine them wanting to have a quick touchdown against Wood Elves. But then in saying that, the Wood Elves have, with this War Dancer here, this Movement 9 War Dancer, as well as their runners, but in particular this War Dancer here, who's Movement 9 with Sidestep, it's very easy for them to potentially get a one-turn touchdown. So WesC will be looking to hurt them. He needs to go through and just oh, that's huge. Throw a rock. That's huge. Strip ball War Dancer injured before turn 1. That's huge. Uses the Apothecary, but he's going to be out for this drive.
Hey coach, I'm gonna hop in and join you if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure, man. Jump on in. So I don't know if you just saw, but the that rock.
Yeah, I did.
Rocks from the crowd. That's especially. I don't believe that WesC actually has sure hands, and so losing that strip ball War Dancer at the start of WesC's offensive drive. That's just massive. I don't think that he would have realistically been able to stall too much with the strip ball War Dancer there. But now that it's gone, well, at least for this drive, Apothecary's been burnt. We could potentially see a solid stall here.
Yeah, they did play the last game against the Sage without that particular War Dancer, but the TV on that guy alone is huge, so it's going to be costly to not have it for this first drive.
Yeah, definitely. That's not having him for half the game. It's kind of weird. He used Apothecary on him, but on my game, it's actually still showing him up as injured. Still in the injuries box, but the Apothecary did work. But yeah, you know, I mean that War Dancer just by himself, I mean, you know, missing him for half the match, and he's the equivalent of he's worth more than a wizard for the team value it costs. So
If anything, I think that might bait Stouticus to play even more aggressive than he usually does to get a fast score. Usually on defense, you want to score quick anyway, and he's no stranger to blitzing on every drive and maybe even a leap or two towards the ball carrier.
So yeah, just to confirm for anyone who's watching, this War Dancer here, Apothecary was used on him. He should be back. It's likely just a graphics bug that's showing him still in the injury box.
Aside from the rock, no other armor breaks after the 3 pushes on the line. We're still waiting to see where the blitz is going to be.
WesC seems to be showing some restraint. He's got 2 dirty players there, and he's usually not afraid to use them. But in this case, he's actually, you know, he actually hasn't set up for a foul with either of them. So you know, I had thought that perhaps maybe the you know, that dodge lineman might get the boot. Yeah, just on the basis that it's, you know, there are no reserves for the Wood Elves, and that's really, I think, their big weakness here, and I think that'll be the play that WesC will try to exploit, is to just try and just win the war of attrition, and you know, effectively stop the Wood Elves from being able to put together a sort of an effective offensive drive.
Yeah, and the blitz ends up with another push, so not too much damage done. For a Wood Elf coach, you know, you're upset by losing your War Dancer, but at the end of turn 1, only having 1 player off the pitch, that's definitely not the worst.
So the ghoul here should be out of range of all of the Wood Elves. So there's not going to be any sort of, even though he's up against the sideline, no one should be within range to potentially, you know, try some red die blitzes or you know, to push him over the edge. So
Yeah, he's just 1 square out, even with a leap and 2 GFIs.
they could, however, get a tackle zone on him with the if they were to do the leap and 2 GFIs, but would probably be dangerous for them with the tackle wolf so close.
I still think we'll see the War Dancer blitz just because he's the mighty bullet piece. He might take a shot at a wolf, or probably this white on the left would be my guess, but we'll see what he goes for.
So WesC hasn't replied back to my my PM to him asking about what inducements were taken. Hopefully we'll get a reply back, but I think if any, it would maybe just be 1 babe for one of the teams, as I would imagine that, yeah, it would be, you know, WesC would have taken a bribe if he could have, and the Wood Elves would have probably taken, I don't know what they would take, but, you know, other than a wizard, but yeah.
Yeah, their TVs were relatively close. I didn't see anything too drastic. And Stouticus looks like is not opting to try anything deep. More or less waiting for the ghoul to get it closer and probably cage up next turn. Although now that I say that, he does get a lineman back there.
Yeah, looks like he. I mean, he's not trying to put too much pressure on the ball. Just enough there that it'll force him to cage. You know, it'll force him to cage up, or to just allocate. It'll force him to allocate some defenders to protecting the ball next turn, rather than just sort of hanging deep or similar. Although in saying that, of course, he could, of course, just blitz the runner, and oh no, here we go. There's a second one that's come up.
Well, this is standard elf defense when the ball's kicked deep, where you want to try and get a couple pieces between, you know, the main force and then those that are back, and force them to really commit to a spot in order to cage up. Because if right now both werewolves can certainly get there, and the ghoul can come up this right side, but the golems and both the whites now with that knockdown are going to be really not a part of this cage. Gets the POW. Still no armor breaks.
Wood Elves are playing very aggressively here. I feel like they've gone through. They've based up against the tackle werewolf with runner. Based up, had their kicker based up another. While they're already down by one player and have no reserves.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like basing that werewolf, but at the same time, he's basically setting it up for a blitz on the ball next turn.
Yeah, it's definitely a very aggressive strategy, and it may pay off. But it's one of those ones. It may pay off, or it may it may turn into a bloody mess. So we'll soon see.
And I played in the division with Stouticus, and I can say that more often than not, it does tend to pay off in his favor. He's not afraid to take dodges like he just did right there. A nice 4+2+ to get that lineman out, which some coaches might have just left on the ground because he's not going to take any damage unless he fails a dodge. But there you go. He does get that second one out as well.
Yeah, I feel though that he's gone for almost like a half measure though. I mean he hasn't actually really separated the undead away from their support. Like the ghoul here can still easily run down to have a full cage.
I think he's fine with that. I think he left him one lane, and it's pretty clear that he wants him to be on this right sideline, and so that's still in range of the war dancer. I don't think he really cares about the 4-post cage because he's just going to take a 1-die. What he doesn't want to see is the guard on all 4 corners or even 2 of the corners. That's what I think he's trying to prevent. And there's only 2 guard pieces, so yeah, that's why he knocked down that white on the left. That makes perfect sense. Curious if he brings the other golem in.
Be interesting to see where he decides to use his blitz. I mean, if he was going to go for the 4 corners, for the 2 corners with his guard, probably should have kept his golem near the sideline as the.
He would need to blitz off that lineman, but yeah, I see what you're saying.
I mean, he could have potentially still got the white there, which would have also acted as an assist for the zombie once he does move someone up there.
Putting on the werewolf hat, I would actually probably blitz this guard piece because that's going to allow you to both mark the war dancer, and that guard lineman is going to be a really high value target for the Wood Elves. You'd have to get another piece down there, which now he's not going to be able to do with the cage he did, but I think that would have been a nice choice. He also has a surf chance on the one on the right side. The thrower.
Yeah, he does.
It's hard to say no to a surf when you have a frenzy piece like a werewolf.
Here you go, gets the break.
So he stood up the white to get the assist, but I think I would have probably done that differently just to try and get the white into a different position because you want that guard piece a little bit more in play.
Okay, Kool-Aid Convoy's made a good observement there that that even though he's got the one guard, what he's sort of doing is he's forcing the War Dancer to because of where he's placed the Wolf as well. He's forcing the War Dancer that if he does want to go for a blitz, he'll need to push him in towards the middle of the field, towards where he's got those two flesh golems. He'd then be between the two flesh golems.
Yeah, I'm going to probably look for him to come between the dirty player and the white. And there he is, marking him. So we can count on the one die. Curious how many. Yeah, he is committing a lot to the screen. But he'll still, I don't think he's even really worried about picking up the ball so much as just trying to get it knocked out. He does have Al Pincino available for a quick pickup. And it's a catcher, so he can get out of there pretty fast.
Yeah. He could either use El Pincino for the to retrieve the ball, or he's in a scoring position, which might be a.
Here's the blitz.
See how this goes. Just a push.
Greedy reroll, but he gets it. That is the Stouticus I know.
Oh, and he's got the KO as well.
That is a great blitz, and those one die pass. He's been just getting them consistently, and if he keeps this up, I mean that's going to be his ticket to the playoff victory. But the ball scatters not in the best spot for him. I mean, especially between those two pieces there. I would have liked to.
I think this was the worst. This is probably the worst possible scatter he could have had, other than bouncing into hands and then between the white and the dirty player. I mean,
yeah, the catch would have been worse, especially if it was on like a golem. If they pulled off a nice catch, that makes it very tough for the Blodge Werewolf. That wouldn't be what you want. But yeah, this is not easy pickup by any means. I think he might not even try, but we'll see.
Yeah, without the reroll, because of course he'd need to not only dodge in for a 50% pickup, he'd also need a 50% dodge, 50% pickup, and then he'd need to dodge back out again as well.
Jesus.
Oh, he's ballsy.
And he did it all season long. I've got a couple of games of his that I watched where he made a couple 5+ plays and just no regrets. And there he is, making it out of there.
So he's got it going for it on the next move. There we go. Good bounce though. But so he's about to get. He may end up with his runner surfed here. Although I'm not sure if WesC would want to put his own wolf, within surfing range himself, since he can't use a blitz to for the surf.
There's
because
he's
going to need to use it on the loner.
There's a lot of dice between him and getting to the ball right now, and I'm curious to see which order he takes it all in. Because before you can get your werewolf off, you gotta hit that kick lineman, and then he can probably ignore the surf to start, at least until he gets the blitz on the ball, because you don't want to waste your reroll early. And then he's also got to use this dirty player to hit the thrower. But part of him's also got to be thinking, do I foul the War Dancer? I mean, he's down. After you get the ball loose, you might want to save that dirty player for just an extra kick for good measure.
So there, by following up with the white, he could have had a 3-die with the golem, but I imagine that it won't really matter. I mean, he's got block anyway. Now he's trapped the thrower.
Bring over the guard like that. I think he's deciding if he wants a 3-die here or not. Ooh, okay. He's got guard or block. That's okay.
I think he'll definitely want to foul on that War Dancer though. Yeah, if he were able to potentially remove him, that'd be huge. If you're able to recover the ball and remove the Dancer.
Yeah, that's your perfect turn 3 right there. No War Dancers on the pitch, and you got the ball.
Only thing he's got to consider now though is that he's only got two. He's only got the 2 wolves left and the 1 white that are edgy 3.
Goes for the serve.
Ooh. I don't know if I would have gone for the surf here.
I don't like that either because you risk the double skull wasting your reroll.
Oh, I mean, not so much that. I mean, more from the perspective that now his wolf could easily be surfed.
It's a valid point as well.
Yeah,
although that's got he's got sidestep. He's safe.
Oh yeah, actually, good point. Yes, he does. Didn't notice that.
Yeah, I just if I'm gonna make a play on the ball, I always want to do that before I do those extra blocks because I want that reroll safely in my pocket to make sure if it comes up push that you get a chance at it. He doesn't go for the 3-die here, and that's because he wants to foul the War Dancer, and I think that was the decision he was making.
See, this is kind of nice, but oh, there we go, dead. You'd really love to see a death, even if it's only a journeyman. Here we go, extra zombie.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
More zombies for fouling. So I think he's got to pick up the ball with his werewolf here, and then try and retreat back. Got to be very careful though. A 1 out of 9 fail could be disastrous here.
Very good, and then possibly either moves him back to a safer spot, or since he knows he's going to foul here, he might try and just set the cage up right next to the War Dancer. I personally would move him backwards, just because there's so many Wood Elves right here.
Yeah. I think I'd definitely move back as well, and I'd still go in for the foul. I think that even just a regular, even without sort of lots of assists, a foul here is worth it with the dirty player. I'd probably bring across the dirty player from the left hand side. The one that's otherwise out of the action.
And now he's got his 2 guard piece cage. So even if the foul doesn't really work, it's going to be very difficult to get even a 1-die on the ball. And it's blodge now, so it's going to be much tougher. Well, he's not bringing up the other piece.
I don't like his cage here so much, in that he's gone through now, and I think that zombie should have gone one space further down. I don't like opening yourself up to chain pushes.
Yeah,
someone's bound to do something that's tricky.
Well, it's certainly an option, although he wouldn't be able to really get a hit on the ball. But
yeah, I can't think of anything tricky that that is possible here, but there's always something that you haven't considered. When you give someone the option of a chain push, they'll just quite often sort of find that people can surprise you with what they're potentially able to pull out of the hat. So whether it be pushing away a guard piece or something, or pushing you into someone else who can make a block on you, you never know.
Yeah. Going back in time, after you make the miracle pickup with your War Dancer there, and you get out of the center of the cage, I don't like to go for it. You've got Blodge Step, and I think that the worst thing for you to do is going to be failing either the dodge or the go for it, because that's another 2 dice to roll a 1. Because just like he happened, he's on the ground, he lost the ball, and now he's really got not much to show for it, and he can count on getting another foul next turn as well.
So imagine that this War Dancer next turn will get the same treatment again. I can't imagine WesC wanting to just leave any chance at all that that he's going to stand back up again. He'll definitely want to get a removal. I think. Two. We've got, with three Wood Elf players already off the field. Definitely want to remove that other War Dancer so we can safely stall and just hunt down the other Wood Elves, I'd say.
Stun on the dirty player is nice. That gives your War Dancer just a little bit more chance of staying alive for a little while.
He does have a second dirty player though.
Right.
He's War Dancer's not going to get off easily, I don't think. But yeah, it will.
Still got to be very scary at this point. I mean, I don't see you stopping the score. What I think you got to really worry about is just having a team left at the end of turn 8. You've got no Apo. Your War Dancer's on the ground. They're applying pressure, but really only to try and keep this War Dancer alive. And they might be better served by just trying to get distance. Jeez, you're reading my mind. You can see Wes is really thinking this one through. He's trying to decide which blocks he wants to make first, and also how he can best apply a boot to Benedict Cumberbatch's face.
It's one of those ones. I mean, where he's probably sitting there thinking. I mean, he wants to block that guard piece, but his golem there doesn't have block, and I mean, I think that'll just weigh heavily on his mind there about just he needs to do that action first because otherwise he can't get a 2-die block on the dodge Wood Elf that's next to that Dancer. He's just trying to work out the most efficient way to get a 2-die on him. Still have his players set up for assists on the foul, and as well protect his ball carrier. All with
a big list,
limited, all with sort of, he's only got 9 players. He needs to make sure he protects the ball, and he needs this War Dancer to be stunned. At the very least stunned. He can't. This War Dancer's already shown him.
I think you bring the werewolf Leroy Jenkins right up the sideline. He's got sidesteps, so you don't worry about too much there. And he goes the other way with him. But I think he was in range for. Well, it might have been a GFI. That might have been the only reason he doesn't, and he just uses the golem. So if you're trying to get the most pressure, you're going to want to get that dodge lineman, which he just moves up to. Probably use your white there to punch him.
There you go, gets a knockdown.
Gets,
Oh, and the KO. Nice.
start sweating if you're a Benedict Cumberbatch fan. Sharks are circling.
So before he makes this foul here, he's got to make sure that he's protecting the ball carrier well. I mean, I think I would potentially bring up the werewolf for an assist on the foul as well. You know, to put him solidly within the within the sort of cage. The war dancer would still be next to a guard piece.
I'd probably mark the two elves there on the side with my golem too.
There we go, he wants the extra assist. So if he gets sent off here, this could be interesting.
Just the KO.
There we go, he's getting sent off. And he's given them a free blitz on his ball carrier. They don't have any tackle though. So yeah, it's a one die that needs a needs a pal.
Stouticus
Stouticus.
He has a whole pocket full of one die pals. So he'll just borrow one of those and collect it later.
But in order to do so, he would need to base not just the one that's the elf that's blitzing. But he would also need to base another one that would be coming in for the assist. So also as well, that wherever the ball goes, it would most likely not be recoverable for the Wood Elves. So it's almost like a bit of a trap, really, for them. Here you go, he's going to go for it.
Oh, he's always going to go for it. Stouticus does not hesitate.
So I don't know if I would go for it in the same situation. I mean, we still don't know though what inducements they've had. I mean, if Stouticus has got for example two babes or something like that, then it's not as big a risk. But if he if he does this, that's his last reroll. I don't think he'll want to use it on turn 4. Oh no, not worried at all. Really wants that one die power.
But I've got this image in my mind of Stouticus as the knight from the Holy Grail that's already lost his limbs, and he's just shouting at the guy, get back here, I'll bite your kneecaps off. I feel like if he gets down enough players, he's still going to be trying to make one die blitz or half die blitzes. It's just in his nature to always take that shot at the ball.
So here they've got the Wood Elves. I mean, I imagine that the guard piece is going to get surfed, and then they'll probably blitz someone else. Maybe probably blitz maybe that catcher. They'll get a 2-die block on the 2-die frenzy block on the kicker. There might not be that many Wood Elves left at the end of this next turn. Can't see WesC being in a hurry to move the ball downfield at all. With both the War Dancers out, his job from here on in is just to try and win the next drive. This is not even about this drive. I mean, he's in an unassailable position.
He's got enough extra pieces that I don't know if he even takes. He's going to take the surf, but the guard piece is worth fouling. You take the surf because it's there, it's free, it's easy, but maybe you try and surf or foul the catcher here. I don't know. You want to foul somebody. I think. I think value.
I think there that because he's only got the one dirty player left, I think he wants to save it for a War Dancer. Like the rest of the pieces that are on the field here are just of significantly less value.
Yeah, he's got a level 1 zombie. I mean, he can
yeah,
foul.
he could use level 1 zombie. We'll also need to probably protect his white, so this white doesn't get surfed. So I think that'll be the job of the level 1 zombie. He's got blitz with the wolf. Oh no!
Nuffle recognized that choice.
It's worked out well though for him. I mean, it's a bit of a shame for him, that he does have, that it's his wolves that are, it's his wolf that's got the ball, because I mean, really, he would much rather have the ball in the hands of the white. Otherwise, if he wants a mighty blow blitz, he's got a blitz with the ball carrier.
It's true. And his ghouls are catching some Z's on the sideline. I do hope that Stouticus has a babe. Granted, only one of these is permanent, so only one dead lineman. So his whole team can come back for the second half, and he knows how to one turn. So I'm curious if we'll get a chance to see that too. I mean, if he leaves, oh, he did already leave it here. I think we see a half die on the ball.
Yeah, I think that guy's going to get fouled. So
Maybe. Okay, yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah, right. I couldn't see any other reason for. Here we go.
That cost him his other dirty player.
This, that's as I said, I didn't think it was worth a foul with the dirty player. These players, they're not worthy.
Yeah, he's looking at his zombies on the sideline, and he's like, I got numbers. But yeah, I probably would use the other zombie and use the dirty player to get that corner of the cage.
Yeah, I mean, the dirty player that he's just lost is worth 80k. The player that he failed is only worth 90. It's actually not necessarily even that great a trade. Especially since he only ended up getting the stun. Yeah, Mistay says brought up a good point. Yeah, he probably should have saved his reroll for a one turner rather than hoping for a POW on that last one. Madagascar, can you hear my son's music? Can you in the background? he's sitting on my lap here, playing on the. He's just watching videos on my iPhone at the moment. So there we go. He's going for the surf. I think that was a good play. Even with red dice. What's the worst that could happen? He just gets surfed in return.
I would say he might want to dodge back out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still got 3 turns. You could. I mean, I don't see him fouling anymore at this point because there's just nothing that's really worth it. But
yeah, I mean, we see here. He's got to remember as well that even though he's removed a lot of Wood Elf players and he has a solid bench, WesC still only has 7 players on the field because of those 2 red cards, 2 KO'd zombies as well. You know, he's not getting hurt, but he actually doesn't have that many more players on the field than what the Wood Elves do. Even though I think the Wood Elves are down to 4, but he's only got 7 on the field, and he needs to protect the ball. Stouticus is willing to risk it all on a 1-die POW. So
well, and you think, I mean, he's got the ball carrier, and then if he wants to get a 4-point cage around him, that's 5 pieces. That only leaves him 2 to really go after the 4 other Wood Elves. He doesn't have leap, but I would not put a 5+ dodge past him with the dodge piece. So
well, yeah, I mean a 5+ a 5+ dodge with a reroll is more like 55%. So it's worth it. I mean, okay, the wolf has blodge, so 55%, times times a 1-die POW is not such a great chance. But from what we've seen from Stouticus already, I wouldn't put it past him. But WesC keeps sort of giving him sort of chances anyway. By he obviously wants to block with the Mighty Blow Werewolf. So I'd imagine here that he would come in to try and trap the catcher with his tackle werewolf and the white to force sort of a difficult dodge. So WesC's also quite an aggressive player. Oh.
I think he still has a chance to hit the ball right now too.
Iron Adept, I don't know what Stouticus's team was like prior to the playoffs, but maybe you can comment on that, on what it was like. Ooh.
Just tell yourself you're getting those ones out of the way. I think what Iron's talking about is he definitely had a couple of pieces get removed in a match that he needed to win, but was against the lower seeded opponent in the last match of the division, and he lost a plus movement catcher, which was kind of a nice
that's
one-turn
huge,
threat.
Yeah, that's.
And he also had lost a tree, which was his second tree of the season.
That explains why he's not running a tree. Then I was a bit curious about that. I thought maybe it was actually a conscious decision to not run a tree, to keep his team value down or something. Which,
Robert Redwood, I think is what it was. He first died to a Croxagore, just a random 1-die punch, and then his second death was to a Dark Elf Foul.
Oh, El Pacino going down this next game as well.
That's a big injury. The loner's not a big deal, but that one's going to be a little bit more noticed, especially for that 1-turn attempt. And he could have avoided that. He made that blitz on the white, but he could have actually tried to move to the opposite end of the field. So his greed is still catching him a little bit here.
Do we see a full cage here? Or looks like he might be going to, but I would be very tempted here to just screen rather than a full cage and just drop the other players back to just deal with all these Wood Elves that are just try and
all
hurt
these,
them.
all 3.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Soon to be 2. Oh, he doesn't get hurt. That's nice.
Here we go. So WesC, I assume, will just score it next turn. He's got 2 rerolls in hand. He might go and make a 3-die block or something, but WesC has been burnt in the past though by his greed. He's he is pretty much from what I understand, the reason why WesC had to do I think they ended up with a 3-way tie for first place, and I think the one match that WesC sort of lost or had a draw in or something that he just really regretted was just from his greed for extra SPP and for extra injuries.
Kool-Aid calling it right now that it's over, and I will push back and say that Stouticus has only lost one game this season. The one game he did lose was to a Norse team, Oathblow, and it was similar in that they lost both War Dancers pretty early in the match, and the injuries kind of compounded. But in that match, it was a significant amount of casualties. This case, there's only 2 that are really permanent, and I think he's going to have at least a babe. We're going to find out here in a second. And so he can get pretty much everybody back here, and having both his War Dancers is going to make a defense in the second half a lot better for him, especially the strip ball.
Yeah, I would imagine that Stouticus will probably go through and score quickly, and I mean, I don't think WesC will be able to stop him from scoring quickly if he wants to. Indeed, he may even be able to get the one-turner here, depending on how many of his KOs
just to
come
confirm,
back.
there are 2 babes on the side of the wooden stand-ins, so 2+ for all these KOs. Only one of them failed. Leonardo de Cyrusio is just not feeling it yet, but we'll expect him back after the half, I would say.
Actually, there's with the sidestep wolf and two stand firm pieces. Unless I can't really realistically see a 1-turn touchdown happening here.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, yeah. You're not getting that.
Yeah.
If he had his plus movement runner still, I mean, maybe the chance.
Then
you lined everything right, but yeah, without that kind of movement, I don't see it happening.
Especially with his, if Stouticus were particularly brave, I mean, you can potentially block off the spaces that are Blodge Stepper can step to, but that's he's got 4 spaces there he could potentially step to. So,
and Wes is putting pieces close enough by that makes that a lot harder.
I think though that WesC by moving those, he's now just moved those players a little bit further back, back away from the werewolf, and he's opening himself up to that play.
It's true he could, and he wouldn't actually
especially with War Dancers, who they don't necessarily need to dodge into those spaces. They can potentially leap into them.
Yeah, that's very true.
But then
we'll see if he can get past this initial front line. He can get it, but yeah, it's going to be how well they can manage the sidestep.
Yeah, although mind you, I mean, even once he gets the first push, any subsequent pushes are, they also need to have all the avenues blocked off, and he might not have enough players for that.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like he's going to go for it. He's going to just try and get some damage with Mighty Blow.
It'd be huge. It'd be huge if he because this wolf has to be on the line. Yeah, I mean, if he lost his only tackle piece, that would be huge. I mean, the other wolf, he's still got frenzy. So you get to throw 4 dice at a, potentially 4 dice, or you get to roll twice as many dice. But the frenzy, tackle frenzy is it's very effective.
Are we missing a wolf? Oh yeah, he left it on the sideline. Pepe Monster is sitting this one out.
So Pepe Monster needs 5 SPP for a level up. I mean, I think with the lack of SPP, that with the lack of tackle on his team, WesC, I mean, yeah, he'll definitely be trying however he can.
Leroy Jenkins is down.
Now, I should check back and see how
WesC
many.
did not have a babe.
He did not have
there's
any
a good
babes.
chance that he does not come back.
I have to hope that he does come back.
Yeah, without that tackle, that's pretty significant.
Although I imagine that without the one turner, the Wood Elves will likely try and score quickly. So he'll have probably 2 chances to come back. He might only miss 2 turns in the second half. So it might not necessarily be too big a thing.
I'm excited to see that defense after the hopefully one score in a couple turns, because he doesn't have sure hands on any of his players, and so he's going to have to really protect himself from the strip ball. And I don't think he did a great job of caging efficiently in the first place. It worked out for him because Stouticus' greed got the better of him, but I feel like if that throw a rock event didn't happen, I don't know that he scores.
Yeah. I mean,
so
if
I
he'd
really
had
want to
2
see
dances,
the 1-1 Wood Elf defense, because that could make this a really good game. And the Werewolf stays out. No tackle piece of play.
Yeah, Eyes and Mike's comment there. Great to leave him out. Why risk throw a rock for why Pepe Monster was out? Yeah, that's a very good point. Why risk throw a rock? It does happen, and it can hurt. So the Wood Elf Dodge Wood Elf lineman is still out as well. So only 8 players on the field for the Wood Elves. That shouldn't really hinder them from scoring though, even though the Undead have still got a full 11, because most of that 11 are zombies.
We'll see some leaps. I'm sure some leap plays are on the horizon. I do want to see if Stouticus can manage his rerolls better this half. He likes to take them when he has an attempt in the ball, and obviously in offense he shouldn't need it unless he fails a leap or a pass. But I'd like to make, if he can get 1-1 with all 3 rerolls intact, that'll be okay. He just needs to be able to try and get to the. I would say if he can get to turn 14 with at least 1 reroll left, I'll be doing a good job of restraining himself. Yes, Isaac Mike, we did start with a throw a rock, and that put Samuel Elm Jackson on the sideline. He was injured, which was rerolled into no casualty. And then one of the ghouls was also knocked out. So both teams suffered from the throw a rock event.
The strip ball one is Elm Jackson.
Yeah. The strip ball one is the one that got knocked out with his back.
Which, by the way, I'll just make a quick comment that the stream here actually has roughly about a 60-second delay between what we say and what they get to see. So sometimes when people post up chat messages and we reply to them, they won't actually hear the chat messages until sort of quite a bit further on.
And just like that, talk about the rerolls and wouldn't stand in.
So imagine here that he will want to try and level up his catcher, rather than giving the ball to the War Dancer.
He's either thinking two things. I was surprised that he didn't put Mighty Blow in the line and swap Samuel Elm. He's either going to make a blitz with the Mighty Blow here on this Golem that he seems to be marking, which, as I say it, that's what he's going to do. Gets the POW too. And then he's going to try and do some kind of screen and cage for his catcher, and that's probably who he'll end up scoring with.
Imagine that he really wants to get the one of these guard pieces removed. If then it would just completely remove the option of WesC being able to protect at all against a 1-die leap block.
Yeah, I just don't see you getting rid of the Golem.
I don't realistically see it happening, but
I mean, I've been told that they can die. I've never seen it, but it's theoretically a capability.
Ooh.
Happily blows the reroll there, and I think that's of course the right call because he's within range of the zombie there. So, quick little handoff, and absolutely, of course, going for the 2-turn score. I don't see a lot of options for them to get to the ball here with that Golem going down. They can position to get between the ball carrier and the end zone, but it's still going to be there's going to be ways, many ways for the wooden stand-ins to get to that end zone with only a couple dice rolls.
I would be quite surprised here if WesC were to actually even try to make a solid effort at trying to stop them. I think that it's much more likely that he's just going to take a look at that strip ball War Dancer all by himself and blitz with Peppy Monster. And just try and get the knockdown there. He does have side steps, so a second block might only be a 1 dice, but I can't really see him sort of going for any other targets. Maybe for the guard instead, but I think we'll see just an attrition blitz rather than a real attempt at trying to stop them. I'll just be back in a sec.
You're fine. WesC again, taking his time to think this one through. Does start moving some pieces back to at least create a speed bump. And by marking that kick elf, that tells me that he's probably going to be getting the blitz. I don't imagine you'd want to leave your own AV7 pieces marking anyone if you weren't going to be hitting them in turn. If he does a good enough job screening this off, I would expect a handoff to the War Dancer, quick leap, and then the score. And that's going to be the hardest die in that is going to be the 3+ for the leap.
Wow, WesC must have gone AFK to go get a drink as well, because nothing seems to have moved at all since I went to go and get a drink and turn on the aircon.
He moved the Golem over and he marked the ghoul with a ghoul, and that's who he's actually going to blitz here. So I think he was debating the War Dancer hit, but now he's going to actually try and get a stop on the score, or at least a stall.
Thing is, though, I don't think he wants to put Peppy Monster in anywhere where he'll be in danger of a blitz from that War Dancer. I think that's what he's thinking about now. In that, Peppy Monster is the best player to put to potentially force the Wood Elves into into making a one-die blitz or similar. Yeah, there we go. He's moved him across, but I don't think he likes it. I don't think he likes the. He doesn't have sort of sidestep or anything here. I mean the amount of effectiveness of this. He's got to go through, probably put a white or the ghoul behind the wolf. Unless he's just going for a foul. He might be going for a foul, actually. This is the kicker. And kick against Wood Elves is particularly annoying. If they're able to get a deep kick.
I think he's more or less just trying to prepare for the leap. And so if he can put this other white on the actual War Dancer, that's going to force him to either make a dodge before the leap and then another dodge. But yeah, there he's marking him here. I mean, he may foul it, but I kind of feel like he's positioning more for that leap defense. Yeah,
I don't think. I mean, if I was Stouticus here, I would not try to aim for a score with the War Dancer. I would just probably just dodge out the guard piece, and then blitz with the War Dancer. And then you get a mighty blow
on that werewolf.
Yeah, well, you get a hit on the werewolf, and as well you clear the way for your runner. And your runner, I mean, he's 0 out of 6 SPP. As much as these are the playoffs, it's all about winning, blah blah blah. Stouticus's team needs some development. They're if he can sort of get his catches and things a little bit more developed, they'll be so much more durable. Because you've got to think about not just this match, but about your next match as well. He's
Oh, here's the foul, like you thought. Now he's all out of extra pieces here, so if this gets sent off, that's not good. And it will be a send-off.
His stream's a little bit ahead of mine.
For a KO against two babes, I don't know that that's great, but he at least has the chance of not having a kick after the score. Oh, that's getting re-rolled.
Ooh.
And so now 2 re-rolls for his defense. That's cutting it tight.
Yeah, he'll probably get an extra one on the next kickoff event anyway. Here we go, double skulls, come on. I've got to admit, I think you're more on the Stouticus side. I'm more on the WesC side. So,
I played them. I tried my best to injure and kill every single one of them, and I just got knockouts the whole time. So there's a part of me that definitely wants to see these War Dancers die. And odds are that I'm actually going to be in his division again next season. So a wounded Stouticus is not necessarily a bad thing for my team.
Oh man, where's your patriotism? Go route.
There's enough REL teams for me to support. And there is the score.
Ooh, that going for it at the end, that would have been scary for him.
He's not afraid to throw dice.
And I just always find that the invisible tripwire is, it's always a big factor. Oh, both of them stay down.
Very significant knockout fails for both teams. Not having the kick or essentially being down those 2 players is going to be bad for the Wood Elves. But I think I take that trade if I know that the werewolf isn't coming back. And not having your sidestep, blodge, tackle piece, that's huge. No tackle at all right now to really punish these Wood Elves, and the strip ball is going to be a thing. I can't wait. I've been watching all season for the strip ball combo, and then he'll pick it up with the other War Dancer, pass it off to a catcher, and there's a quick score. So this could be fun.
10 versus 7 though. 10 versus 7. That's especially with the line of scrimmage blocks still to come. That's
the scariest part. Yeah, if you lose even one of these, it's going to be noticed. And he puts the thrower up there because he wants his catcher and guard piece off the line.
I don't know about putting the guard, both the guard pieces on the line there. I think that I'd want to have them. I'd want to have them back for just not on the line. Where they potentially might get tied up. Because they're just so important for protecting his ball carrier. But because even these wood elves, they're so fast, and
this seems really all in to me. I don't like this attack formation here that Wes is in right now.
A deep kick here would put him in a lot of trouble.
He removed the kick piece, so I'm sure he's feeling really confident. But this seems very all in.
It's still random. The kick piece just makes it just much more likely that that it's going to go to the deep rather than to the mid. But it's still oh
no!
Oh, the blitz!
Oh, in true ReBBL playoff fashion, we get a blitz. And that is not a deep kick, so there will probably be a wood elf standing under this.
I get the feeling I shouldn't have been listening, Papa.
Oh, who's that? Is that Morka?
It's Morka, mate. I'm driving my car around listening.
Go for it, mate. I've got the stream up as well, so you can either listen to the stream or you're welcome to just sit in Discord and listen. Anything you say though gets put on the stream, so.
Yes, I'll try not to crash the car while I'm doing it.
Yeah, we'd rather not listen to you crashing the car, mate. So drive safe.
The auto accident. Your insurance will not appreciate that. I can't wait to watch chat lose it here in a second. Stouticus considering long and hard about his options, and here he goes.
I was going to say, I think he'll be considering the leap here.
One leap down.
At least for...
And he go ahead and he marks the goal, which means that the blitz is coming.
I'm surprised though that he's marking that goal there. As... Okay, no, he is going to mark the other one. Oh, okay, yeah, because I guess he wants to put a catcher under the ball.
Ooh, look at all this pretty sixes. All the green lining the screen. Now the fun stuff.
Oh, doesn't need to use his reroll, so he's got it for if he wants to be greedy here.
Doesn't get a power, assume he'll doesn't reroll it.
Yeah, I guess he'll just be happy with the push.
You're gonna get a mighty blow, werewolf, hitting this catcher. But where your WesC goes from here, there's a lot of options. The guard piece stays back, so don't worry about that at least.
Oh, there we go. Double ones on the catch. Oh, so WesC can potentially recover the ball still, but
yeah, that's a very easy recovery. In fact, he doesn't even need to use the werewolf, but I think he should. What I'm curious though is who he uses to hit the line and who he decides to pull back.
Thing is though is that even though Stouticus didn't manage to get the ball there, it's messed up WesC's defensive line. He's not going to be able to protect the ball carrier at all, pretty much, in the following turn.
So he does use the white to block, to conserve the reroll, and gets a stun. That's not bad.
So I'm not sure if I would have used the the white there for the
No, I wouldn't either. I would have stuck with the zombie.
yeah.
Marks the ball with the golem.
Yeah, like, you know, for me, I think what's I don't know about that choice there. Like, you know, I mean, now that he's gone and he's done what he's just done there, like where the golem is, that's where I would have blitzed from, for sure. You know, now when he blitzes the runner, if he only rolls a push, he could be in trouble. I mean, yeah, if he blitzes with the werewolf, he gets a second go at it, and can push him further, you know, to somewhere else. But now if he blitzes with the werewolf, all of his Agi 3 players would then be on the wrong side of the ball. Unless all that he wants to do is put multiple tackle zones around the ball, and blitz a war dancer, which, yeah.
If he does that, I think that would be a mistake. Because you can always just roll a 6 and pick up the ball, and now the game is entirely in the Royals' hands. So I think you have to go for the ball here.
Definitely.
And be willing to invest a reroll.
Oh, there you go. Gets the power straight off. KO, nice. But now, how does he pick up the ball? So yeah, you know, that's why I would have wanted to save that white, to use the white to pick up the ball. You know, WesC doesn't have a lot of.
We're gonna see an Agi 3 dodge, and both of them are tackle pieces.
Yeah, that's it. They're both in tackle. It's very. Anything that they do is going to be risky. Although again, as I said, like, you know, I mean, the only other play that I could see would be if he just tries to put tackle zones on the ball to make it difficult to pick up. But I think that's a very dangerous play as well. Yeah, both these guys having sidestep.
That didn't make things better. Now he just made his pickup even harder. Nice, Mike, you're on the delay, but you called it perfectly, yeah. You definitely shouldn't have thrown any blocks like that until after you made a play out for the ball.
You just got to hope for a POW here, or... Hope for a POW, and then I would have maybe kept that zombie free for a foul if he does, you know, if he is able to roll a POW. Oh no, he's going for the dodge and the 50% pickup. Maybe no.
Right now, the Wood Elves are a 4+ pickup, and well, I guess a 3+ leap. Okay, never mind. He got the ball. I'll stop what I'm saying.
Will he risk another dodge?
But he is already a red dice. If he stays right there, he's a red dice away from strip ball.
So here he could be in some big trouble if this guard piece is able to come into play. It's not going to be easy for him. I think it'd be 2 going for its and a dodge without dodge, but then it would give the War Dancers a 2-die.
I'm surprised he brings the guard piece up here, because now the gold just has to get around him and hand off to one of the whites, which is risky. But
Yeah, but he
and I
gets
don't think he wants to score this fast either. But it's just you're taking away your safety here.
Yeah, I don't know why he wouldn't have gone for the. Oh, that's not the strip ball one. So
I'm also confused by that. Yeah.
yeah, like I mean, I was sure that he would just bring up the guard piece. You know, three 2+s to get him there, and then just blitz with either of the war dancers because he would have had a 2-die. So I think he's really let WesC off the hook here. WesC though, still got to get that war dancer away from his ghoul though, and that's going to take either a dodge or he's going to have to we're going to have to use a lot of players to fill up all those tackle zones.
That was probably the first one that I would call a full-on mistake to not use the strip ball. You wanted to use the mighty blow, I think, to try and get some damage onto the ghoul, but that's just even too greedy for his normally already greedy play.
So here I imagine that we'll see WesC come in to close up the sidestep avenues, so he can block off this mighty blow war dancer, and then a blitz on the other
if
one.
he does that, that's gonna commit a lot of pieces to this, and potentially leave him open to just another leap blitz next turn, which, to be fair, is eating up all Stouticus's rerolls. And
I think
it's not the worst thing, but
yeah, I think though that he's got to do it. I mean, he doesn't want to risk that 1 out of 9. Yep, here we go. Yeah. Either that, or I suppose he can just throw lots of blocks at him until he rolls a POW.
I could see the ghoul here, because it is a blodge ghoul, doing a blitz to get away, but sidestep's still a thing. You're gonna have to get a POW.
Well, yeah, he's a blodge ghoul, but he's still got to dodge out. I mean, admittedly, actually, I mean the block that he just did there, because of where the war dancer stepped, it hasn't actually cost WesC any additional players, if that makes sense. Like in order to block off his sidestep avenues, he's still only got to move one more player in, and then this war dancer can't step back next to the ball carrier.
Yeah, he can either move a white or the golem here into that corner between the two war dancers, and then that forces at least one of them off.
If I were WesC here, I'd maybe be looking just to, rather than going for a standard, sort of full cage, just go for a 3-man line with the guard. That golem and the white. I think that's his only option. He doesn't have, because he's going to need to commit a lot of players here, and just forcing the wood elves to just reduce their dice. Might be his best play here. Surprised that he's used PP monster here when he didn't have he didn't actually have a block on the other wood answer, so he's still got to do a dodge. To me, that just makes this this blitz here just a pure attrition blitz, really, because it doesn't really achieve anything for the or at least not a huge amount for the runner himself.
I think both players are just really having Mighty Blow on the mind, and trying to get an edge that way, and it's kind of costing their overall strategy. You know, he wants to use the Mighty Blow Werewolf to try and get a War Dancer down, and it doesn't do anything. And same thing for Stouticus, using the Mighty Blow War Dancer to try and knock out a ghoul.
So here we're going to see a block or a dodge from the ghoul. If he fills up that other gap, he could just block him off. Here we go. So he should be able to form up a solid guard cage now. Wouldn't be surprised to see a foul on this War Dancer from the zombie that's standing there. I think he might move his white up for an assist. Yeah, and to also sort of block him off and then just go for the foul. No.
It's not a bad call.
Yeah, I think I think I would have definitely fouled him. I mean, it's even if I only got one assist, it'd be worth it.
I think in his mind, he's looking at his penalty box and seeing 3 zombies and probably not wanting a 4th.
Because if he could remove the War Dancers, even just a KO, it's potentially huge for his for him being able to realistically have a chance of scoring in this drive, because these dancers are just going to keep leaping through on him.
He's definitely overdue for a missed leap, and I can see that happening here. But I'm fully expecting the strip ball half die, even with the guard in play, just to try and get it loose.
I'll be back in a sec.
You're fine. Stouticus starting to screen a little bit, preparing for the downhill play. Moving the guard back as well. If he does manage to get the ball loose, here's the blitz. And the ball's coming out. Half die. Saying is, if he does get the ball loose like this, I would expect him to try, depending on where the scatter is, to pick it up with the other leaping War Dancer, and then try and get out of there from there. But that's a rough scatter. You're in 4 tackle zones. I don't think he's going to try and do that. I think he might just try and let sidestep mess around with the ball here.
Okay, so while I was AFK, it looks like he did throw that half die, and it's worked.
Yeah, the strip ball did a thing.
Didn't even need to burn his reroll, so he's not able to retrieve the ball yet, but
Makes a 4+ dodge instead of a leap. I'm not sure why he did that, but okay, it worked out.
I think he wanted to conserve his reroll. I think he knows that he needs it, and a 4+ dodge, if you're not prepared to burn that reroll, is better than the 3+ leap. I think he wants to save the dodge for the pick, the reroll for the pickup. Oh, he gets the pow.
Just a stun. Well, at least he doesn't have to worry about a strip ball blitz coming next turn, but the white's not moving any further up the field here. And that is a guard piece, so now he's going to be able to get a 1-die.
Yeah, I think he'll probably need to risk a handoff here. Unless, I mean, yeah, I think he would need to risk a handoff here. Like for next turn. Because he just really needs that guard piece to force the half die rather than just gifting them 1-die strip ball blitzes. Luckily, though, with where the white is, he's already got a cage formed around him, so that's kind of handy.
Yeah. You just don't see any forward movement, which he doesn't need. It's still very early, but you always want to be thinking about. You see a frenzy blitz, which that does get a POW onto the guard piece.
There we go, stun on that as well.
I know the foul is just constantly eating at WesC's mind right now, but
I was just about to comment on that as well, eh?
Yeah.
If I was WesC, I'd probably just eat this.
Yeah, he does.
Just in case he needs to go into overtime.
Which is, I think, the smarter, more conservative play. But at the same time, he's like, man, I could have had a really good foul.
Yeah, I mean, the foul, though, while he's stunned, he'll still be there next turn. He's not going
and right
anywhere.
away, we see the mark in the blitz, just instantly. Oh, okay. He's not blitzing the ball. He's just making a chain push here. Trying to use Mighty Blow to hurt these ghouls, which is something that is consistent with what he's been planning.
Oh, Grumpy Joe goes down.
Mighty Blow does his thing, and successfully removes a piece. And that's better than a hit on the ball for sure. Gets the War Dancer back, a little bit safer, although I don't think there's anywhere that's going to be safe from this werewolf unless he really protects it. But.
Well, not with this fewer players on the field.
Yeah, I don't think he's really got a safe spot. He's just got to not put him next to a golem.
At the moment, what is it, 6 versus 9?
I do think it's a little funny that he moved the War Dancer there. I don't know if I would have done the same thing, but now, next turn, WesC's got that dilemma of, do I try fouling again? And I think you have to because of the strip ball.
Yeah, I mean, I think that strip ball's just, if he can get rid of it, it'll just give him so much more protection. But in saying that, I mean, at the moment he could potentially make some solid ground downfield. If he were to sort of charge downfield, he could potentially outrange that War Dancer. It'll be it's turn 13. If he takes one field on his next turn, if he moves downfield, then turn 14 that War Dancer will be too far away to realistically sort of pose a threat. And then when it comes to sort of say turn 15, when the War Dancer would be there, I mean he's ready to score anyway, so he could potentially just make a turn 15 rather than 16 score. and then force the Wood Elves, to try for that for that 2-turn touchdown while they're down sort of by a lot of players.
It would be a 1-turn because this is the Wood Elves half, and if your sidestep doesn't come back, there's potentially a chance there for a 1-turn, but I wouldn't count on that.
Yeah, I mean, even with just the 2 stand firm, even without the side stepper, it's still very, very difficult to score a 1-turn.
Yeah.
Definitely not impossible, but just significantly more difficult.
This blitz tells me that they're probably going to try and move the ball at the right-hand side this turn, and that's not a bad play. You already got a zombie over there. But I think I would make that foul before I try to move the ball. Oh yeah, he brings him back.
Yeah, looks like they're not going anywhere then.
Yeah.
I think is that they will need to, before he makes the foul.
What is he doing?
Oh, actually, so actually, I get it. Okay, yeah. What is it's the guard piece that he wanted to, just stop from getting and potentially causing problems. I think. No. Oh, here we go. It's going to be a handoff to the ghoul. That's what he's. That's what he's
an
doing.
Unnecessary risk to me. Sure, it's a blotch player, but all the ward answers have tackle, so you're not really gaining any extra protection that way.
But he is though, because what he'll do is he'll put the white on the other corner.
Oh, the guard, yeah.
Because it's the problem at the moment is he can't force red dice.
Yeah, that's fair, but the risk of a failed catch there is the only thing that would be my concern.
Yes.
If the ball's on the ground there, he's not in great position, and I could see that easily get recovered.
Now I'd go for the foul though.
Yeah. It's not the greatest, but it's still on a ward answer and you take it. I think it's like 72% or something, 70 something. Stun is good enough.
Yeah, because as crazy as Stouticus is, I don't think he's going to risk throwing red dice without the strip ball. With just his mighty blow war dancer. It's his chance then of a knockdown is a 1 out of 9, which is the same chance as him failing a leap. So. And and if he were to fail the leap, if his war dancer were to get knocked down on a leap, then he would that would be game right there. So I think. But then, mind you, with the stun on the war dancer, on the strip ball war dancer, he can't do anything next turn. So all that WesC needs to do is just move the ball downfield out of range of the strip ball dancer. Next turn, get into scoring range.
Yeah, I think this might be the turn that he has to try something, because if the goal gets 1 turn closer, then it's pretty much game. He obviously can't outrun his golems, and the zombies are further back, so he wants to keep his cage, but he doesn't have to move it very far.
I mean, once the stun wears off on that war dancer, I think from memory he was movement bust, so he'll only have 4 movement. He'll only have 4 movement when he moves up.
I don't really like this.
I think this is a good play, because
so yeah, I mean, what he's thinking is, if he stops the guard from moving, then that stops the cage from moving.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, this will stop. All that he can do next turn is just stand up with that golem. And the cage just won't be able to move. In fact, they'll probably need to switch to the other side, really. Because they're sort of quite reliant on zombies at the moment. They don't really have a lot of speed. They're relying on movement 4.
Just thinking about either marking more players and risking more rough hits, or possibly where to put this War Dancer.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would, I'd potentially risk just standing up that thrower, so he's marking that zombie, and maybe having the War Dancer go and mark the other zombie on the left hand side there, and then he just effectively stalls.
From the werewolf, but yeah.
He's going to get a 2-die blitz regardless, no matter where he puts him. That werewolf, I can almost guarantee you, he is going to get a 2-die blitz on him. The only real difference is that if he was marked up on the zombie, and then if he uses a sidestep well, then he effectively screens off that ball carrier completely.
That's true. Yeah.
Here,
that's actually really true.
Yeah, like
He
here,
doesn't gain much by sidestep. Yeah.
yeah, like here. I mean, where's he going to sidestep to? He can sidestep away from the zombie, away from whatever support WesC brings, to force a 1-die on the second block. But that's about it.
And depending on where he moves, he's going to have strip ball again. So I think you're right. The call was right to take down that golem. I agree there.
It also wouldn't necessarily be that horrible even to actually do a handoff. Ooh, I wouldn't have used him, but it wouldn't even be horrible necessarily to actually do a handoff to the werewolf and then blitz with the werewolf. It wouldn't. Yeah, if you didn't knock down the War Dancer, it'd potentially be shocking. But or sort of try and outrun, like use the werewolf's speed. WesC's getting to the point where he needs to get a lot closer to the touchdown, to scoring a touchdown.
Yeah, he wants to move for the sideline here to just get out of the strip ball range. And a surf, why not? Oh no, there's a reroll. And to a double bow. So that's not a surf.
That's right, he got the stun. A stun at this point is almost as effective as a surf. The only downside for him though is that now it means that
cage is stuck.
Can't use the zombie.
Yeah, that zombie's kind of stuck there. I don't see him really moving very far upfield here. So now he's still on strip ball. And if he doesn't put that fourth corner back, he could also be looking at a 1-die instead.
The one advantage that he does have though is that in particular the guard lineman is stunned. So
yeah, that helps a lot.
Yeah, I mean, like I think that helps a huge amount because then he can potentially with how he's currently set up, he can potentially force it so that so if they do blitz him, they still need to go through guard or need to go through tackle zones that they can't nullify. Need to base somebody in a tackle zone that they can't nullify.
Yeah, so he moves the guard up to make sure that the corner there isn't open. And just another foul. Oh,
I think that was a very, very risky foul there.
And he doesn't get the sent off either. So
yeah, because if he had been sent off there, then I mean a 1-die, basically a 1-die on that flesh column. If that removed him, then knocked him down, then they would have opened themselves up to a 1-die blitz.
Yeah.
I guess forcing forcing Stouticus to roll one die blocks without block would could be a nice way to get rid of that final reroll.
Looks like he's setting up to blitz the werewolf, and he does. Which, oh man, that helps a lot. But I don't know that. I mean, he basically is playing for overtime now.
Yeah, I think he has to. I mean, he'd have to have put a player into a scoring position this turn.
He doesn't have players for it.
And
so.
he doesn't have the players to both turn over the ball and have players the luxury of players in scoring positions. I think he is dropping too far back though. Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, no matter where he goes, he's going to be in scoring threat. So he's basically saying that he's going to do the cage dive next turn, no matter what. How about these sidelines, though? Both teams just loaded.
Yeah, which is quite surprising considering they've only got one mighty blow each.
12 players, 6 on each side, are on the sidelines right now.
Although, mind you, I think WesC has maybe 3 out from red cards. 3. Let's. Yeah, 3 red cards, only 1 injury.
Even knock down that lineman's actually gonna kind of help out here.
Wouldn't be surprised to see a foul on this lineman, just because. Why not? Just to either that or to maybe for the zombie to mark up the guard lineman. Either one or the other. I mean, just to try and reduce the numbers. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know that any of it matters though. I mean, he's making a half die on the ball, no matter what Stouticus does here. And you don't want to risk another send-off. But because he's got those two guard corners, there's no way to get to the ball without having a half die. I guess technically you could do a 5+ dodge with your guard piece, but I don't know if he's got the range because he's knocked down. And now that's a 6+ dodge with 2 GFIs. And actually getting the POW here doesn't even end it. There's other scoring threats from the
both
team here.
Well, both of the whites are both within range of scoring without even needing going for it. I believe, and yeah. Those ones. I mean, admittedly though, I mean, yeah, even if the dancer were to just leap in between the two whites and just go for a go for the red dice. Even if he just gets a push, then that forces a going for it. And then because he's got blodge step, he can potentially, if they can't knock him down, will he re-roll, go for the pow? I assume not, but it's he's Stouticus. Okay, yep, okay. I should just keep that in mind. He's Stouticus.
Tis only a flesh wound. And now I think he marks for the sake of making roll dice, although I don't know why the guard's back there.
Yeah, I mean he sort of just needs to mark just to cut down on 3-die blocks, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, his blodge step could potentially stop the score here.
Yeah, if the guard piece had come up and marked even just the zombie, there's the benefit being provided there, because the dodge lineman is also marking the ball.
So other than the ghoul itself, I mean, there's only those two whites that actually have block. That are currently marking the war dance, that actually have block, and so WesC's got potentially got some sort of difficult. Well, not difficult, but he's just got to take maybe a little bit of risk here.
West does love thinking it through.
There we go. He gets the power on that one. That's important. So now he should get 3 dice with the flesh golem. Just makes that block significantly less risky, and obviously increases his chances of a pow quite significantly.
Doesn't take a 3-die, but he gets the pow anyway. And that is going to do it.
Yeah, now he just runs it in.
I think he has 1 GFI, right?
Nope, shouldn't do. Should be exactly 7 spaces from the touchdown line, I believe. Oh yeah, no, sorry, yes, sorry, yep, you're right, yeah. Because of the push, he's got 1 going for it to make.
Tripwire. That does it.
Congratulations to WesC. Proceeds to the round of 8.
Well, that was a good game. We finally saw a Wood Elf fall in the playoffs. The armor breaks there tell a great story. 21 armor breaks for the Necro team and 5 for the Wood Elf stand-ins. What's funny is the 5 armor breaks that he had, I think almost all resulted in knockouts.
Yeah, I mean there were three KOs and an injury from those 5 that they did have. I mean, I often find that that's what happens when I play against Wood Elves. They don't get a lot of breaks against me, but every single one, is going to be an injury or a KO. Whereas, I play against AV7 teams, and Mighty Blow piling on, and it only results in a stun. So,
yeah, definitely. Well, good luck to Wes, and you fought very admirably, wooden stand-ins. I'm sure we'll probably see you in the playoffs again. Not surprise me.
Yeah, also,
Okay.
also, there's a little bit of a little bit of just something nice for him to at least his catcher got the MVP, so he's got to level up.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, obviously, I'm sure that he would much rather have preferred to have won the match, but it's a consolation prize at least for him.
Definitely.
Whereas
I'm gonna
WesC
take
gets a
off,
zombie.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna take off, but good casting with you.
Yeah. Thanks for coming in to help with casting. Always makes it a lot more enjoyable, especially as I've got a very sleepy baby that I've had to AFK a bit to to help
No
with.
worries.
So
No worries, my pleasure.
So that's one. We've got another Big O player has made